Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 muscle building tips you probably aren't paying enough attention to. Before I get into this topic, if you guys need coaching, check out the link down below. Coaching is what I do for a living. I would love to help. So I've done many muscle building tips over the years, and this weekend I was kind of sitting around trying to think of what I could add to the muscle building discussion. And the thought came to my mind, what muscle building tips aren't really taken seriously enough, or what muscle building tips generally the average individual might have lost in the sea of chaos that is influencer fitness or influencer muscle building. So let's dive in. Number one, and probably one of the biggest ones, is that people overfocus on arm work and underfocus on progression or building a base on their rows and their presses. Now, let me explain. I'm not against arm work. I'm not against direct arm work. We're not doing anything radical like that. Many of my clients have arm days or junk days or extra arm work. I'm all for extra arm work. I'm all for big arms. But the point here is that direct arm work or focusing on your arm with isolations does not replace the necessity of training your arms with rows and presses. Now, there are many random statements on the fitness landscape that talk about, rows and presses being a certain percentage of your arm growth. And I'm not going to get into that because we don't want to make arbitrary statements. But the important point here is that if you want to get your arms big, you need to build up your rows and your presses. You need to get strong in your back work, your chest work, and your delt work. That is the foundation of arm size. I've been in this industry a long time, and I've never seen anybody with substantial arm size that was weak when it came to their rows or presses. Everything in general was pretty darn strong. Now, I always give the caveat that we're not chasing end limit powerlifting strength, which is absolutely true. We're not just after some random 1-rep max, but we're trying to build a base of strength. What happens is when you go into the gym, you're attacking your bench press, your overhead press, your dumbbell, your barbell rows, whatever the case may be. You are trying to beat the logbook in the lane of hard training. We're focused on hard training and not just strength. And from hard training, the fruit is adding reps. The bottom line is you're never going to be big and you're never going to have big arms unless you bring up your base strength on your rows and your presses. The point here is simple. Don't just do your arm work. Invest a quality amount of time in a reasonable selection of exercises with a solid progression opportunity for your chest, your back, and your shoulders. All right, point number 2, and this is one you're very likely to gloss over, but I want you to take some time and hear what I'm saying. Your form isn't as clean as you think, and it's costing you gains. We're not just talking about squats and deadlifts and bench press here. We're talking about everything from lat pull downs to seated cable rows to your machine work, whether you like to do machine work over dumbbell or barbell or whatever. Generally, when I look at form videos, the form isn't as clean as the lifter thinks. You see a lot of lifters in the gym just rushing things, bouncing things, ego lifting, not a lot of control. Their sets are bleeding mechanical tension and good quality focus. And while they might be progressing, while they might be in the gym adding reps over the previous effort on their lat pull downs or their machine overhead presses or whatever the case is, they're not really maximizing each rep. My advice here is very simple. Make sure to film yourself when you can. Don't be an obnoxious goofball in the gym and just film and get in everybody's way. But film yourself when you can and take time to analyze the film. Ask yourself the question, am I trying to get everything out of the set that I can? Am I trying to control the weight during the eccentrics? Am I trying to squeeze out good mechanical tension and stress out of the set? Or am I just moving the weight around rapidly, trying to accumulate reps? One final note, when I am working with a client and I see somebody just speeding through a set, usually what I will tell them is I'm giving you a speeding ticket. You're moving way too quickly. Generally, it's on the eccentrics. That's a good way to actually analyze whether somebody is just trying to ram through reps? Are they controlling the weight back up on a lat pull down? Are they just randomly trying to smash through reps on a machine chest press? Analyze your form and make sure you're just not speeding through the set to accumulate reps. All right, number 3, this is a big one in the modern landscape because you have a lot of these optimization influencers who are showing you all these crazy new exercises, and they're talking about feel. And if you use this angle, you can feel your lats. And if you use this angle, you can feel your rhomboids. And if you use this angle, you can feel this and that. And now, we're definitely not against feel. That would be a radical approach and kind of a stupid approach when it came to bodybuilding. But feel does not replace progression. Chasing the feel of a muscle is okay, but it can't come at the expense of progression or a solid progression opportunity. If you're going to go into the gym and try these influencer lifts, you need to remember that your focus isn't just on feel, it is on progressive overload. You see a lot of these new wave exercises that focus on feel that really don't have a quality progression opportunity. So if you have an exercise that you can really feel, but it doesn't leave you with a progression opportunity, the bottom line is that it is not going to be a substantial tool in the muscle building process. Feel also doesn't negate the need for power generation. Now, we're not talking about sloppy, unfocused power generation, but if you think about performing a seated cable row or a lat pull down, you need a reasonable and focused degree of power generation while feeling the muscle. They aren't mutually exclusive. When I do dumbbell rows or heavy dumbbell rows, a lot of times I'll get the 10% comments of people that think because the weight is heavy, I can't feel the muscle, and nothing could be further from the truth. A lot of people view me as a power lifter. I really didn't even begin to explore powerlifting until I was in the lifting game for about 20 years. My entire time in lifting, I focused on feel and maximizing progressive overload, both of them at the same time. So it's okay to feel a muscle. We're not trying to demonize that, but do that in the lane of hard training and progressive overload. Don't just jump ship and do a bunch of feely-wheely exercises that have no progressive overload opportunity, but because you can feel a certain muscle group, all of a sudden the lift is magic. This is a trap. All right, number 4, and this is a big one. You'll see a lot of influencers on social media. Train harder than last time. You need to train hard, etc. You hear me talking about train hard. But one thing we can't miss is the fact that training hard is a learned skill. A lot of people are confused. What does it mean to train hard? You need to take some time and watch lifters, watch some experienced lifters, not only in your commercial gym, keeping an eye on the big guys that are actually making a lot of progress, but on YouTube. Study how these big guys, these big naturals or big unnaturals, whoever you want to follow, are moving the weight. Watch their sets. Look at the story behind the story. Analyze how are they getting the most out of the set? What are they doing to get the most out of this set? Again, training hard is a learned skill. You need to invest time into trying to figure out how to improve that skill. Having somebody just yell at you, push harder, isn't good enough. The goal should be maximizing each rep and then maximizing each set. You want to try to get the most out of every rep you can. We're not trying to radicalize things and slow down your reps and do anything crazy. But if you don't know if you're getting the most out of every rep and every set, just continue to work on it. Just continue to study. Just continue to refine your sets and keep pushing forward with the awareness that hard training is a learned skill. I will say that once you get it, you generally get it. And finally, and this is kind of an underrated thing, muscle isn't built by avoiding the hard path. It's built by embracing it, embracing the suck. One thing that drives me crazy about modern lifting is when I tune into Instagram or YouTube or someone shares a clip with a new exercise and there's no life and no passion and no drive and no degree of brutality or effort. There's just kind of a lifeless moving weight from point A to point B. We see so much of this that sometimes it's kind of easy to move away from a focus on the art of lifting and just put all of our eggs in the science of lifting, put all of our eggs in that basket. Now, I'm not making fun of these guys, but what they are lacking is a vital and integral part of the muscle building process, and that is hard training. That is brutality. That is the hard path. Not trying to find a way around progressive overload, not trying to make a set easier, embracing the hard sets, embracing the challenges, embracing the suck. When the weight feels heavy, saying, that's good. That is the path I want to be on. This is where we want to be. There are no shortcuts. And when you find yourself trying to seek a shortcut, you know you're headed down the wrong path. Muscle building will never occur if you avoid the hard path. You have to just become aware of that. The hard path is the way. Climbing the mountain is the way. Running through the wall is the way. Not seeking an easier path, not trying to optimize things so it becomes easier. It's not that you can't optimize or evolve your program based on needs. That's perfectly okay. But when you hit the gym and something feels hard and you're trying to find an easier way, and you're trying to find a way around building work capacity, or you're trying to wait till a weight feels lighter, or any of these nonsense approaches or beliefs that kind of try to avoid hard training, you know you are in trouble. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.